The story behind Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon is already kind of legendary. Originally designed as his attempt to make a Star Wars movie, it was a little too dark for Lucasfilm and they turned down, leading to him going to Netflix and making his own version of a Star Wars movie. And I gotta say, Rebel Moon is a total blast. There is a difference between justice and revenge. There is a price to pay for your defiance. One takes place in a dark corner of the universe, one might even say a galaxy far, far away, that's controlled by a fascist regime called the Mother World. A former soldier named Cora, played by Sofia Boutella, tries to escape her past by living as a simple farmer on a peaceful moon called the Veldt when that moon is invaded by the Mother World. As a child, Cora sets off to recruit an army of soldiers to do battle with the Mother World and end their tyranny once and for all. What does this movie sound like? Sounds pretty much like Star Wars. Snyder maybe made it a little too lean at it, running just over 2 hours. It's nonetheless pretty deliriously entertaining and an epic one could easily call the best Star Wars movie never made. In fact, it's not a stretch to say that Rebel Moon is more entertaining than anything. You really kind of have to do your homework in order to enjoy the latest Star Wars or Marvel movie or TV series, but not so with Rebel Moon. All you need to know is set up in a quick introduction. And Snyder embraces the same simple, direct style of storytelling that made those. How it was initially planned as a Star Wars movie, Snyder's also delivered a pretty damn exciting film. It's full of slow-motion action, heroes' journeys, at least 7 of them, operatic betrayals, star-crossed romance, and everything that defines the space opera genre for about 15 minutes or so. The lightning-quick pace of the storytelling is a bit overwhelming, and Snyder's made perhaps the fastest-paced movie of his career, but by the time the credits rolled, I was dying to see Part 2, The Scargiver, which Snyder promises is coming sooner rather than later. The movie is anchored by a star-making performance by Sofia Boutella. While she's been in loads of stuff, she's never gotten this kind of role in her career. She just blown it. Where this hero isn't afraid to take their licks, she's a badass, but she isn't physically or emotionally invulnerable. This gives her action scenes extra, as you don't always know what's going to happen during them or how she's going to escape. While definitely Boutella's movie, she's surrounded by a very solid cast of heroes and villains. A robotic knight named Jimmy, voiced by Anthony Hopkins and performed by Dustin Kate Hammer, is part of an ancient order of robots who are no longer able to kill but finds himself able to pull the trigger when needed. I wanna tell you, I was lucky enough to see it on a massive theatrical screen, and it feels like Netflix has maybe erred in not giving this a more robust release given how underwhelming this season's crop of blockbusters is turning out to be, with everybody talking about how Aquaman 2 is bound to flop, and not being totally interested in seeing Timothée Chalamet as Wonka. Maybe a sprawling space epic would have been well served to come out on the big screen, but alas, it's showing up on Netflix. And I think a lot of people are going to watch it. The score by Junkie XL is suitably epic and the action scenes are pretty dazzling, with the movie ending on a more satisfying note than the majority of films that are split in two. While Rebel Moon isn't perfect due to the fact that Snyder is perhaps a little too liberal in pulling from his influences to make his space epic, no one can deny how much of a blast it is to watch. Granted, if you're not already a Zack Snyder fan or you don't like his style, this really isn't going to be the movie for you. But if you like his work, Rebel Moon is one of his better movies and a nifty start to what could be a very valuable franchise for Netflix. I give this a strong 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching.